Next, we're going to take a look at determining where a graph is increasing, decreasing, and constant. And we're also going to identify any relative maxima or minima. So looking at this graph, we have, and you have to think about moving from left to right. So even though the arrow is headed in the other direction, we read graphs the same way we read books and the same way we read math equations, from left to right. So as you're moving from left to right, the graph is going up. So on this interval from negative infinity to negative 4, the graph is increasing. And I guess technically at negative 4, the graph is no longer increasing, so we could change that to a parenthesis that it's not included in our increasing interval. From negative 4 to positive 4, the graph is constant. It's not going up or down. And then from negative 4 all the way to positive infinity, our graph is decreasing. Sorry, from positive 4 to positive infinity. Now, because there's nowhere that this graph changes from increasing to decreasing at a single point, there aren't any relative maxima or minima. So if you look at that constant line from negative 4 to 4, you can't call all of those x values a relative maximum. A relative maximum would occur at a single point, not at a range of points. So there's no maxima or minima for this one. Our next graph, again reading it from left to right, it is decreasing the entire graph. So from negative infinity to positive infinity, our graph is decreasing. At no point does it switch to increasing. So therefore, we again don't have any relative maxima or minima. Now, it looks like it might be constant right around the origin, but what happens there is that the rate at which it is decreasing slows down, but it never stops. It continually decreases. The amount by which it decreases is small, so it looks like it's constant, but it's not. Last graph for these examples, and we have from negative infinity, then reading it from left to right on this interval until we get down to, or over to the x value of negative 3, we are decreasing. At that point, the graph starts to increase until we get to an x value of 5. And then from 5 to positive infinity, we are constant. This one, we did have the graph change from decreasing to increasing at the point negative 3. So the point negative 3,6 is our relative minima, or minimum. Minima is the plural of minimum. We have one relative minimum value in this case.